Hey there, grade eights. In today's lesson, we are going to be talking about estimating square roots. So we've talked about perfect squares, but however, not all squares are going to be perfect, which means not all square roots are going to be perfect as well. So what can we do? Well, we can try our best to try to estimate what something might be. So if we remember that we have our perfect squares, okay, so let's just go over them quickly. 1 times 1 is 1, okay? So if I'm trying to make kind of a number line, I'll actually give myself a little bit more space. So if I have 1 as my square, my next square is going to be 4, okay? And I just try to draw my number line, okay? But then I come down and this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2, okay? My next perfect square is 9, which is 3. Next is going to be 16, which is 4. Next I have 25, which is 5. Then I'm going to go to 36, which is 6, no 3. Okay. So if I have this number line, roughly speaking, okay, what I can do, and I don't have them spaced out as good as well as I was hoping. What if I'm trying to find what the square root of 20 is? Okay, what's the square root of 20? So I'm looking for this. All right. So if I'm looking for that, I can say, well, where does it go on the line? Okay, where does it fit? Well, 20, I'm looking at my top numbers. Where would it fall in? Well, it would fall in between 16 and 25, because 20 is in between 16 and 25. So it would go somewhere around here. So the square root of 20. Okay? And I can put the square root sign over all of these numbers to basically say that it's the same thing. Okay? Because what I'm saying is this is equal to this, this is equal to this, this is equal to this. Okay? Square root of 9 is equal to 3. Okay, so what number times itself, or 3 squared is equal to 9, 4 squared is equal to 16. It doesn't matter how I do it, it still works out. So if it comes down here, it's a little bit closer to 16 than it is to 25, but it's almost right in the middle. It's pretty much right in the middle. So I'm going to make a guess and say that the square root of 20 is roughly 4.5, because that's where it would fall on my number line. Is about 4.5. So if I was to look at the actual square, what it might look like, okay? So if I have like a 5 by 5, okay? So say this is 5 by 5, but then inside I would have a 4 by 4, okay? So this would be 4 by 4. Okay, my square root of 20 would be basically kind of right in between, okay? So basically what's happening is we're saying that this length here is 4, this length here is the square root of 20, and then this length, which goes all the way around, or I can go this side, sorry, would be 5. Okay? So I have kind of 3 different lengths. I've got one that goes up to here, which is 4, I'll delete that. This one, which is the square root of 20, and then this one, which is 5. So what I'm saying is the area of this one is 16, the area of this one would be 20, and the area of this one would be 25, or my top number. Right? So that's how we're going to use the estimation, is we're going to try to calculate where it might be. So, for example, what if I was to try to guess what the square root of, let's say, 96. Okay, let's go 96. So I need to think about what my perfect numbers are, or my perfect squares. I'll delete these, erase these, and then we're just going to write out, once again, what all of our perfect squares are for practice. So we don't need this anymore. Okay. So we have 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 times 2, which is 4, 3 times 3, which is 9, 4 times 4, which is 16, 5 times 5, which is 25, 6 times 6, which is 36, 7 times 7 is 49, 8 times 8 is 64, 9 times 9 is 81. 10 times 10 is 100. That's neat. 11 times 11 is 121. 12 times 12 is 144. 13 times 13 is 169. 14 times 14 is 196. And 15 times 15 is 225. And that's kind of all I've asked you to try to do for now. So what am I saying? I'm saying, what is the square root of 96, roughly? So I'm asking, which two numbers here, consecutive numbers, is it in between? Well, it's in between 81 and 100. So it's going to be somewhere in between 81 and 100. Okay? Which side is it closest to? Well, here I've got a difference of 15, here I have a difference of 4. So it's definitely closer to here. Now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is the square root of each of these? Well, the square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 100 is 10. Okay, so I'm going to guess that it's a lot closer here. I'm going to make kind of a general guess that it's going to be high 9, so 9.8. Okay, I feel like that would be a fairly good guess. 9.8, 9.9. Seems like that those would be a good general estimation. So we're able to try to figure out what that answer might be. All right, so there's a couple others that I'm going to just put on the board. I'm going to have you practice quickly, pause the video, and then, then we'll move on. So the ones that I want you to practice, let's go square root of 5. What do you think that might be? The square root of 11. Okay, what do you think that might be? Okay, the square root of 57. What do you think that one might be? Square root of 38. Okay. Square root of 171. And let's go with the square root of 115. Okay. So if you want to pause the video, try to answer these questions. Tell me what you think the square root of each of them might be. And then I'm going to continue as soon as you hit play. So when I'm looking at this one, square root of 5, it's going to be in between 4 and 9. It's really close to 4. Okay, the square root of 4 is 2, so it's going to be in between 2 and 3. But it's going to be closer to 2. So I'm going to go like 2.2, for example. It's just a guess. Okay? Square root of 11 is going to be in between 9 and 16, so it's going to be in between 3 and 4. Okay? It's closer. It's 2 away from 9. It's 5 away from 16, so it's actually going to be closer here. So let's go 3.3, let's say. Okay? Now we've got the square root of 57. It's going to be in between 59 and 64, or 49 and 64. So it's going to be in between 7 and 8. Okay, let's see. It's 8 away from here, and it's 7 away from here. So it's actually pretty close. So I'm going to say that it's going to be somewhere around 7.5. Then I go to here, square root of 38. Well, it's going to be in between 36 and 49. So that means it's going to be in between 6 and 7. Okay? It's really close to 36. It's only 2 away, where it's 11 away from 49. So it's going to be probably 6.2-ish again. It's just a guess. Okay? My next one, 171. It's going to be between 196 and 169. Okay? So it's going to be in between 13 and 14. Okay? But it's really close to this one. I'm going to go 13.1. Okay? It's really close. Okay, it's 2 away from there, but it's 25 away from here. So it's much closer to one as opposed to the other. So this one's going to be in between, 115 is in between 100 and 121. So that means the square roots of those numbers are between 10 and 11. Okay? But it's close, it's 5 away from here and it's 15 away from here. So it's going to be closer to 11. I'm going to say like 11.7. Seems like a pretty decent guess. Okay? If you got something close to those, it doesn't have to be exact, but you should be getting closer to the right side, okay, the correct side of the number. So when I'm looking at these, I know that it's closer to 2. Okay, this one was closer to 3. This one was kind of right in the middle. This one was definitely closer to 6. This one's closer to 13. and this one was closer to 11. So when you look at my estimations, all of my estimations were going towards the area where that number was closer to. All right? So you're going to be able to have some time to go over some questions. I'm going to post the questions on Google Classroom, so you're going to have an opportunity to check those out. Bring any questions you have to the Zoom chat or message me on Hangouts. All right? Good luck.